Welcome to Streams of Income, hosted by best-selling author and entrepreneur Dr. David Powers, where we discuss streams of income, passive income, residual income, and even why there are dinosaurs and zombies in this intro. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive in.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Streams of Income podcast. This one is a Dr. Dave solo edition. I hope you enjoy those. I hope you enjoy all the episodes, whether it's an interview with an amazing entrepreneur or the ones where I'm kind of teaching a class. But this time I have a special treat for you. I have this cheat sheet that was prepared by one of my previous guests, Dustin Heiner. Or if you listen to his podcast, Dustin Heiner. As his announcer says. And so I'm going to go over that with you. But first, I thought y'all might like to hear something a little funny. I've talked about it before, but in case you don't know or haven't heard it when I talked about it, this is my basement office. It's a basement in our old farmhouse that we turned this section into my office. But there are other rooms there, one of which is the laundry room. And I can't do podcasts or videos or anything when the laundry's going because there's no door on that room. It's just a washer and dryer in this little tiny nook of the basement there, and it's really loud. Matter of fact, I recorded about 10 minutes into this thing a second ago. I thought I could do it, but the washer did a weird cycle where it got about 4,000 decibels louder than it was previously, and I had to stop. Now I'm re-recording, but my wife is over there currently putting everything in the dryer, and she doesn't want me to forget to start up the dryer when I'm done talking to you folks. And so she made me a sign that whenever I'm doing a podcast or a video, and I'm holding the sign up if you're not watching the YouTube version, it says restart the laundry or restart laundry, and it's got a washer and dryer on there. And so because she's putting everything in the dryer and being kind and not starting the dryer while I'm filming, I put this on my desk, and that way as soon as I'm done, I'm like, oh, what's that sign for? Restart the laundry. So I have to go start the dryer as soon as I'm through talking to you. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share and see if I can do this correctly. Sometimes I mess this up. Let's do this right though. And I'm going to screen share with you. And so today's worksheet, you can see there, if you're seeing what you're supposed to be seeing, I'm in the corner. Dustin Heiner is right there. That's his Instagram page. So since I got all this information from him and I got his permission, so don't think I'm just stealing this. The second he sent me this new cheat sheet of his for passive income, I messaged him right back and I said, hey man, do you mind if I go over this on a podcast? And so he said, feel free. And I told him, of course, I'm going to credit you, put a link and everything else. And so I wanted to show you his Instagram page. It is the Dustin Heiner on Instagram. Look for the one with the blue check mark, or the white check mark and the blue background that shows he's verified and official. And you can get on there and actually get a copy or the website for this. I'll put the website in the show links also because it leads straight back to his website at, let me pull it up, masterpassiveincome.com. And so I'm on Dustin's website right now, and I'm going to go over this 13 passive income streams cheat sheet for you. And I'll add a little commentary here and there. Not that I can make Dustin's stuff any better because he's pretty awesome. If you don't know Dustin Heiner, haven't met him, haven't ever listened to him, go back. It's probably 5 or 6 episodes, and you'll see the podcast I did with him. He's an amazing guy. I met him online in a mastermind group, but just a couple of weeks ago, got to meet him in person. And I went to this cool conference called The Unconference. It's a small business conference, incredibly small. It was down in Sarasota, Florida. Only 100 people were invited, and about only 90 of those showed up. And Dustin is one of them. Here's the cool thing, though, because I was listening to some of the after action reviews of this conference from other attendees, and one of the biggest things that they mentioned was that the huge, despite the variety of incomes and demographics of the people in attendance, it's like we were all there as peers learning. I went there and got to meet Dustin and interact with him as a peer. And if you follow Dustin at all, he is big time. I mean, he's like Dave Ramsey big time. And so if you're at all interested in real estate or anything like that, follow Dustin. He's a pretty cool guy. Even if you're not interested in real estate, man, follow his Instagram because his Instagram is chock full of of just images of what financial freedom and family time looks like. That's why he became what he calls successfully unemployed, so he could spend more time with his family and spend more time doing the things that matter, building legacy and spending time with his family, shooting guns, going hunting, going traveling, all the things he loves to do. So let's go ahead and dig into these 13 passive income streams. And if you happen to be listening to this and not watching it on YouTube, definitely encourage you, go ahead and keep listening. I don't want you to stop listening, because if you're in the car or something and some distraction-free time, keep listening, man. But you may want to go back and watch the YouTube video and also check the show notes and get the link to check this out for yourself. All right, let's see. Dive on into this. I won't read all his preliminary stuff, but I want to dig on down to these passive income streams. All right, so number one, dividend stocks. Invest in dividend-paying stocks, companies that distribute a portion of their profits to shareholders periodically. By reinvesting dividends, you can increase your stock holdings and potentially earn more. And those of you that have followed me for any length of time should probably understand the value of reinvesting. In cryptocurrency terms, we usually just refer to it as compounding. It's the same thing, where instead of taking your money home, so if you don't need that money right now, or you can do without it, or you can live without a few things to make more money in the future, reinvest or compound your earnings. Instead of taking it home, it buys more of the thing that you're invested in. So dividend stocks. Real estate. Now that's Dustin's bread and butter, and so he listed as number two. It's interesting. I think he probably didn't put it number one because he didn't want to just come straight out of the gate with real estate's the best way. But Dustin is pretty good at that. If you're interested in real estate, you can even see below number two right here. There's a button you can hit to get his free real estate investing course. I've actually downloaded that, and it's pretty amazing. And the only thing missing from that course, like, it is so chock full of information. The only thing missing is if you want one-on-one coaching from his guys, which he does, or you want more information, like specific information on things like HELOCs or setting up a LLC in Wyoming or interesting things like that. So real estate, purchase rental properties. You earn passive income through monthly rent payments from tenants. Additionally, there are other ways to get financial gains, and he talks about it in that free real estate investing course. All right, number three, private money lending. Invest in peer-to-peer lending platforms where you provide loans to individuals or small businesses. And so what you do is you make the interest back on those loans. If you're a member of Passive Income Engines, my private membership group, I actually have classes in there on several of the platforms that do private money lending. I'm invested in quite a few of those myself. And so private money lending is one way to make passive income. I like it. It is I wouldn't even call it a slow growth model, but it is a steady growth model. And because they're going to keep paying the money back, you're going to make the interest on that. All right, number four. Oh, this is one of my favorites because this is what I dig into the most. Create and sell digital products. Develop digital products, ebooks, courses, stock photos, software. Once created, they can be sold repeatedly with minimal ongoing effort. And like I said, that's what I do for a huge chunk of my income. So it's obviously one of my favorites, digital products. All right, number five, high yield savings accounts and CDs. Now, for a lot of you, this is going to seem like a bad word. CDs, savings accounts, because with everything available to you and everything out there now, most people don't want to do this because they feel like, well, it's not going to earn me enough money. But there are some instances where this is a good idea. I don't know that I would ever do a CD. That's the kind of thing I had 20 years ago when that was the best thing. But here we go. Deposit money in high yield savings accounts, and he's got that as a hyperlink also. These financial instruments offer higher interest rates compared to traditional ones and provide a steady stream of passive income through interest. Now, let me tell you, here's where I use high yield savings accounts. I use them when I want my money, a certain portion of money, to be incredibly safe, but not just sitting there doing nothing. And so for me, this is where I park my emergency fund. And if you're like me and you're a Dave Ramsey fan and have done the Dave Ramsey program at one time or another, maybe you're still on it. That is an amazing place to park your emergency fund money because You have quick access to it. It's removed from your regular checking account, so you're not going to use it without thinking about it, and you earn a little bit of money. It's not just sitting there being lazy. A lot of y'all have a lot of money sitting in non-interest bearing checking accounts and places like that where the money's just being lazy and it's just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. Now, here's what happens when you do that. The worst thing that happens to me. Yeah, it's safe. It's in probably one of the safest places it can be in an FDIC insured bank. But inflation is going to keep going up. Inflation is going to keep changing. And if you're not growing your money, now, don't get me wrong, I don't know of any high yield savings accounts that are going to match inflation, but it's better than nothing. If your money's sitting in a regular checking account with no interest, it is doing nothing. And inflation is actually, as inflation goes up, it's making your money worth less. And so don't do that, man. Don't do it. All right, number 6, affiliate marketing. Now, this used to be huge, affiliate marketing, and it may still be in certain circles. Some people may do good money off of this. And I'm talking guys like John Lee Dumas and Dave Ramsey and some of those guys. They'll mention somebody's book or somebody's program or something like that, and next thing you know, off one podcast, they make a few $1,000 off affiliate marketing. Now, the vast majority of us are not going to be able to do that, but it is a good source of passive income. There are some, like Amazon, for instance, they have an amazing affiliate program. And by amazing, I mean they have millions of products you can list that hopefully people will buy. They also have a great tracking program, which means if I write a blog post or put a link under a YouTube video or something like that to a product, if somebody clicks on that link and goes to Amazon, they might buy that product. And yes, I'll make some affiliate pennies off of that. But Amazon they throw those tracking cookies in there. And I'm not sure of the amount of time or whatever that it lasts. But if that person keeps shopping on Amazon, here's the best case scenario. The best case scenario is I do a YouTube video. I'll put a link in there for a book that I referred to, maybe Dustin's book. Somebody clicks on that link and goes to Amazon. They buy Dustin's book. I make a few pennies. But they had some money come in from maybe a tax refund or something like that. And they decide, you know what? I'm going to check on Amazon and see if they sell Rolex watches on here. And I'm going to buy one. Or they decide they're going to go on Amazon and buy $15,000 worth of outdoor furniture, because you can do that too. Or maybe a $20,000 tiny house, but you can do that on Amazon too. Because they went to Amazon from my link, I also make affiliate money on those other things. That's the beauty of the Amazon program. But with that said, I have never, and I'm all over the place with these Amazon links, I've never made more than $100 a month in Amazon affiliate marketing. I've made more money through other affiliate programs, but just know that unless you have a very, very high volume website, you're incredibly famous and you're getting millions of views and everything a month, millions of downloads a month, that kind of thing, you're not going to make a lot of money from affiliate marketing, but it is passive. You throw that link up there and it's done. All right, number 7, royalties from creative works. Create content such as books, music, or art. Once published or licensed, you can earn royalties each time it's sold or used. And he references Kindle Direct Publishing. I kind of lump that into online creation, but he puts it under royalties from creative works. And so I'll go ahead and mention this. Here's a cool thing about Kindle Direct Publishing, which isn't just Kindle electronic. On Amazon now, you can do Kindle, which is available on any device with the app. You can do paperback, hardback, and also with Amazon, they have a beta program right now where you can do audiobooks. And so it's pretty cool. But here's the cool thing about, we're talking about royalties. I was checking a report earlier today on KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. And I was showing my daughter. It was pretty cool because she actually outsold my books yesterday. She wrote a book, a fictional book about a skunk and a unicorn. And she had more sales yesterday than I did. Here's the crazy thing, though. My books came in second and third place for my publishing house, Pressure Tested Publishing. Check it out. But I didn't sell any books. I actually only had pages read. In other words, when people buy any of your books on Amazon, mine or anybody else's that are under my publishing house, when they do that digitally, I actually get paid by the number of pages read. So I get a little royalty off the purchase, and then I get royalties off of how much it's read. And what the reason Amazon does that is they like to see which books perform well. In other words, tons and tons of books get sold, but a lot of those books never get read. And so when I'm showing huge page counts on some of my books, I can look at that and say, okay, not only did somebody buy my book, but they're enjoying it. They're reading the whole thing. A bunch of people are reading my book this month. I mean, I've had some books that sold not even today or last week or whatever, and I'll see page counts in the thousands on a report at the end of the month. So that's pretty cool. And that's a royalty from a creative work and totally passive. All right, number 8, develop and sell mobile apps. Develop a mobile app that solves a problem or entertains users. Once it's in the App Store, you can earn passive income through sales, in-app purchases, or ad revenue. And this is one that, well, let me do a quick download on the notion of passive income, because I know some of y'all are thinking this. You might be thinking, well, that's not passive. You have to work at it. Well, almost nothing is truly passive. All of these, you have to do a little bit of work up front. And some of these, like the mobile app, you have to do a little bit of maintenance. Now, you can farm that out and pay somebody for it, but that also makes it not completely passive. Like Dustin talks about real estate. Real estate is only passive if you've lined up a team to run that. And that's the way he teaches in that free course I keep mentioning, because it really is good. But you have to line up the team, and you do occasionally have to do some type of maintenance or check-ins or things like that. And so when I say passive, I mean passive adjacent. It is as close as you can really get. You might have to do some work up front. You might have to do some maintenance. You might have to pay somebody else to do that work. But there are ways that you should strive to include these ways to make it more and more passive as you go. In other words, as you make more money, you work less. And that's what Dustin really teaches with real estate, is that you make more money and you're working less, and that is best case scenario for passive income. All right. Number 9, YouTube ad revenue. Start a YouTube channel, create content, and then once you monetize the YouTube, you will make ad revenue for the ads that show up on your videos. Now, this takes time and a lot of I don't know if influence is the right word, but it takes a while to build this for some people. Unless you just hit it big for some crazy reason, it does take time. But once you start making that ad revenue, it's extra money that you're not doing anything else for if you're making videos already. Number 10, create a membership site. That is where I met Dustin, inside Membership Freedom, which is a mastermind group that I belong to, where we actually talk about membership sites, which that is, I kind of put that, instead of passive, I put that into what I call recurring income, which means you're doing one thing for a bunch of people and they're all paying you. So instead of, like, say, a one-on-one personal coaching session where you're getting paid by one person for doing a thing, with a membership site, you can do the same thing one time and get paid by many, recurring income. And it's also set up as a membership to where they're paying every month. Every month. I just launched a low-cost newsletter called the Streams of Income Tip Sheet. It's basically it's a membership. Well, I don't know if I'd call it a membership, because it's a paid newsletter, but it is recurring income. The newsletter comes out once a month with frequent updates that lets people know about various streams of income opportunities, and most of them timely, and most of them ones that you wouldn't necessarily see on a Google search or see on Instagram or anything like that. And so it's a low-cost newsletter that updates people on that, but it's a recurring income thing. All right, number 11, invest in index funds. Those are mutual funds or ETFs that track a specific market index. In other words, you could invest in funds, for instance, that are only geared towards AI technology or cryptocurrency. There are actually Bitcoin ETFs now. Or you could pick a sector or an industry. Like I could find one that maybe just deals with coffee or food in general. I mean, things like that. Let's see, number 12, rent out personal assets. Oh, this is one I really like. This is one that I've not done very much, but I want to dig into some more because it seems very interesting to me. Renting out personal assets such as a car, camera equipment, or even storage space. I kind of do this. I guess I could lump this, although I wouldn't call it passive income. But I have hip campsites here on my farm. So my farm being a personal asset, I do rent out hip campsites, but he's talking about cars and things like that. And so he actually references a couple of platforms, Turo for cars, which is it's like it's an app where you can actually rent luxury cars from individuals. Fat Llama for equipment. So in other words, I don't know, let's say you're doing some kind of a photo shoot or a video shoot and you need a $10,000 camera for that one event. And so you don't want to go buy one. You don't have the money for that. You might could rent that camera from Fat Llama. And then one called Neighbor for storage. So if you know, I've got some barns here on my property, and they're not empty, so it wouldn't work for storage. But if you had an empty barn, storage shed, basement, garage, anything like that, you can rent things like that out that other people can use as a storage place. So let's see, allows you to list and rent out your items, generating passive income. And this, I don't know, this is definitely passive adjacent more than passive because somebody's having to do the work to sign the stuff out, to check the website, take the notifications, all that. But here's the thing. The key words that I love here that Dustin mentions is underutilized assets. Now that is a big pet peeve of mine with churches. Churches, in my opinion, are the most underutilized assets in the entire world because most of them are used at most 10 hours a week. And so all the rest of that week, all that facility and everything that God's people have paid for is underutilized. It could be rented out for weddings. I actually used to go to a church that had a really nice commercial kitchen in their fellowship hall, where they would gather for events and things. During the week, they rented out that commercial kitchen to a caterer. And the great thing was when the church did events, guess who catered the event? Right there on the church property. And so, but very few churches do that because, I don't know, they're paranoid for the most part. That's what I found. They're paranoid of what's going to happen or people are going to get mad that we're making money off the property. In my opinion, it's just bad business. It's a bad idea for a pastor to run a property that is so underutilized. So personally, though, if you have high dollar or space assets that are underutilized in your own life, you can rent these out. All right, number 13, which I'm doing right now. Start a podcast. Podcasting on a topic you're passionate about or knowledgeable in. Monetize your podcast through sponsorships, advertisements, or listener donations. And so you can see from some of these, Dustin isn't just talking about pure passive income, like just throw the money out there and money comes back to you because of where you threw the money. A couple of these were that way, like index funds, investing, things of those nature. But some of what Dustin is talking about, you see, is making additional money from the thing you're already doing. And that's what I like. I'm already podcasting. So if I can find other ways to do the thing I'm already doing, but make more money from it in different ways, that's how you make more passive income because I'm doing the thing anyway. And so why not find ways to create additional streams of income around that don't require more work? Or I could use a VA or hire somebody to do the little bit of work for that. Or you know what? It might require a little bit of work to set up and then it takes off on autopilot. So I hope you've enjoyed this little session. Like I said, go check out Dustin Heiner on Instagram. He is the Dustin Heiner. His website, and I'll put all this in the show notes if you want to just click through, but it's masterpassiveincome.com. Dustin is a master of passive income, but his niche truly is in real estate. And so if you're at all interested in that, go check him out, sign up for the newsletter. Real estate's in my future. It's not something I'm doing right now, but it is something I want to do in the future. So I listen to his podcast. I subscribe to his newsletter. I devour the content he puts out because I'm wanting to build a bank of education and knowledge that I can use. And that way, when I'm ready for real estate, when I've built up some money to invest into that or figure out a way to use other people's money on that kind of thing, I'm ready to jump in completely. And so it might be something you want to do. And if you see in the website right now, you can look at the very top of Dustin's website, and there is a tab called Free Stuff. And so he's got some books on there. So very, very cool stuff. And so, like I say, I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for joining with me. I'm going to stop the screen share so you can see my lovely bald head and glorious red beard really big on your screen if you're watching this on YouTube. And so be sure to tune in for the other podcasts. If this one whetted your interest at all, like I said, go back and listen to the one I did with Dustin Heiner. It was really good. And he's a pretty awesome guy. And I guarantee you're going to enjoy it. All right. Y'all take care. Have an Hey, everybody, I just wanted to mention one last time before you go. If you ever want to do any brainstorming, let's say you listen to one of these podcasts and you thought to yourself, Dave, that was an amazing guest. And your interview questions were so thoughtful and introspective and inspiring. It made me think about something new, but I don't have anybody to talk to about this. Well, that's what I'm here for. If you ever want to do a brainstorming session, I don't charge the same price for those that I do my regular coaching sessions because the coaching sessions are that's like a long-term thing. I work with people and hold their hand and tons of homework, stuff like that. But if you ever want to just get on a call and do some brainstorming, I love doing those. I love meeting new people in different occupations, things that I don't know anything about, and have them tell me all their secrets, all their goals, all their dreams, and we brainstorm new income ideas. And you know what I really like? Let me tell you a secret. One of the things I really like doing is helping people see how they can make additional income or create new income streams based off of things they're already doing. In other words, don't add another job. Don't take on another part time job. Don't add 15 side hustles to your existing income streams or stream if you're possibly in a full time W 2 job. What I like doing is brainstorming with folks. It's like my specialty and helping them figure out how to make money, more money, new money, sometimes passive money with things they're already doing. And so, if you want to do a brainstorming session on something like that or anything else, I mean, I don't mind talking about anything. Getting your kids into entrepreneurial stuff, trying to work with your spouse because they hate entrepreneurial stuff, whatever you want to talk about, click the link below. It should be in the show notes. I say below. I'm not sure how you're watching this, but it is in the show notes, whether those are on the side, below, or somewhere else. But check the show notes. There's a link in there for the $99 brainstorming sessions. And, if you want to, feel free to email me, ask me if it's the right fit for you before you book, whatever you want to do. But just be sure to get the help you need to make sure that you're able to take those next steps toward your income streams.